Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
If you want the chair, John, I'll put the chair over there for you. Or you can have the podium, whatever you like.
And John, would you like a gavel?
Whatever you'd like to do, Jeff.
I'll just stand here.
Okay. Because the speakers are on. We usually don't have the speakers on.
Down the back of them.
You guys all want to do it?
Yeah.
Is it just the one?
Tell me when you're ready.
I have the sheet
Well,
yet.
hold on. That's what I said. Tell me when you're ready. And I'll start reading. Ready?
Ready, go.
Go ahead.
Alan Sherry, $2,034.48. Andrea Bickham, 60609. Joseph Bird, 922.55. Caden Glazek Ahern, 541.16. Gloria Medina Becerra is 495.14. Ednar Chardnar is 359.96. Karen Clements, 1,065.17. Jeffrey Collins is 659.86. You okay?
So you missed two that I have on here.
Who do you have?
Her, 359.
I don't have that.
After Gloria's, it's 359.96. And,
Ednar Chardnar.
yeah,
I can do that one.
okay.
Who's the next one?
Karen.
Karen, I got her.
Okay.
1,065.17.
All right,
Jeffrey Collins, 659.86.
Yep.
Katie Coppola is 110.82. Alyssa Sanuski's 160.65. Michael Dane is 687.84. Jocelyn Denny is 317.90. Kiki Dennis-Wall is 183.09. Robert Gagnon is 642.18. Andrew Gray is 454.28. Kip Kaiser 777.92. Joyce Kegel is 537.60. Kevin Nealon is $1,303.90. Stephanie Lazat-Croto is 394.39. Heather Lindsay is 611.87. Samuel Matos is 1,046.59. Abigail Minor is 248.80. Sydney Minor is 253.62. Jeremy Potter 668.45. Brian Rains is 345.39. Wayne Roberts is 921.73. Christopher Spitaleri is $1,304.77. Charlotte Sullivan is 134.98.5. Katrina Tennant's 237.63. Jack Turner is 464.67. Olivia Wall is 103.66. Daniel Wicks is 1,008.17.57. Janice Weirs is 769.87. Jeremy Worcester is 627.65. Daphne Wass is 686.80.
for a total of $22,493.
And then we only have two checks. Kristen Patch for $481.94 and Keith Culligan for $241.26 for a total of $723.20. Combined total of $23,216.20.
Is that me?
The Squeezy is just the ACH check, and then the rest of it is the regular AP.
Did you release that?
That's the ACH payment for the school. So if you just want to read that for,
Second half for August 2020 is 205,000.
For Swayze, the Swayze school.
Swayze.
You all right?
Go.
Airgas USA, $33.75. AT&T Mobility is $920.81. Center for Occupational Health, $2,428.85. Clean O-Rama is $2,067. Two-Way Communication Services, $45. Sear Polygraph Services, $300. Dragon Mosquitoes, $5,650. E&J Auto Parts, $35.99. First Light is $232.22. Great American Financial Services, 31709. Harrison Schrader Enterprises, $700 even. Health Trust Inc. is $7.69. Innerwear Development Company is $175. Joyce Keegles, $53.41. MB Tractor and Equipment is $315.98. Mitchell Municipal Group, $1,556. Neptune Uniforms is $920.76. RK Consultants, $3,600 even. Rockingham County Registers, $4.55. Rome Constructions, $240. Seacoast Mills Building Supply, $686.53. Stratum Tires, $582. Title Communications, $209.24. UniFirst Corp. is $51.12. Valic is $246.45. Waste Management is $4,820.24. WB Mason, $1,118.97. Went to Work Inc. is $200. Daphne Wass is $36.68.
A total of $27,555.33.
And combined with the ACH, that's $232,555.33. 42 hours of overtime at the PD, none, highway, or fire.
Did you say 42?
42.
My first day.
Something new.
I think it was his report.
You what?
It was his report.
We have an extra?
It's mine.
Sure.
She took all of them from
Can
me.
you hand that back over? Thank you. I was like,
She didn't want to hand them out, so I wouldn't give her one.
On vacation, you know.
She didn't want to share.
do you want to share?
Getting back into the swing.
She got 5 packs.
So it's kind of a quiet week for receipts with only 33,000 coming in, and as a result of that in the school payment, I had to move $225,000, which puts us under 5 million.
Just barely though.
That's right.
By 100,000.
So the next
Bob's
payment.
gonna kick in.
Drop
Don't
the
worry about
bucket when you think about.
2 weeks from now, we'll hit you big time again.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Should we do minutes or just swearing
Is Kip here or?
in? No, Kip's not here.
Right. Chief? Floor's yours. We're going to get
Kip's not here, so we're giving you the floor.
Wait for, Daphne.
Yep.
So I want to have Officer Spitaleri and Officer Marcos come on up here. And as I'm pinning you, you can take your mask off.
Yeah, because otherwise you can't recognize you.
Okay? And we can start while we're waiting for, come on in, Daphne.
How are you?
Okay. Sam, why don't you just step alongside Officer Spitaleri? All right, I want to thank you all for coming this evening. We're going to start off with the swearing in of our 2 newest police officers. Before we begin, I just want to give a little background as to the process, as to what is entailed when we do our recruiting. It's a pretty lengthy process. They apply, and we review their resume and their application. And then if it fits our criteria, we have them take a physical agility test, and that's pretty lengthy. About a 1.5 mile run, push-ups and sit-ups, and they have to pass that criteria. At that point, they have a written exam that they have to take and pass, and then we invite them in for an oral interview board, which is before myself, the sergeant, and in this case, we had Bob Mantagari from the select board, as well as, and I think, did you sit on any of
I
those,
did
Ken?
not.
And then our town administrator, Karen Clement. So we have a little taste of sworn and unsworn when they sit on the oral boards. And it's a pretty thorough oral board interview. If they get past that, at that point, we'll extend a conditional offer of employment. And if they accept, then it's contingent on the background investigation. So at that point, we do a background investigation, which is very thorough. As you all know, the family members here, you know how thorough we were with the background investigation. Once that clears, then we employ them for a polygraph examination and then a psychological. And if they pass both of those, then they're good to go. After that, we hire them, and then we send them off to a full-time academy. In this particular case, yesterday was their PT test with the academy, and they both passed, which I'm very excited about. And they're set to begin their full-time academy status at the end of August. That's 16 weeks long. Once they get past that, then they come back to us, and then we put them through another about 12 weeks of a field training officer program. Right now, we're training them before they go off, so hopefully by February, they'll be good to go. So just so that you know, there's a lot that goes into this process. We're not alone. Pretty much every agency does this. Obviously, it's very difficult. I don't have to tell you how difficult it is not only to find quality people to want to do this job, especially in this political climate. So we're very appreciative of the younger generation that wants to do this job, because I've been doing this a long time, over 30 years. The sergeant over here, Sergeant Wicks, has been doing this job for close to 40. So we're not going to be here forever. So we're trying to groom and train the next generation to take over, and they have an enormous task ahead of them. And we want to do everything we can to get them trained professionally, correctly, to carry on. Not only for this profession, which I'm very proud of and very passionate about, as well as the sergeant here, for society and for the community of Brentwood. So without further ado, first officer I'm going to introduce to you is Officer Chris Spitaleri. He was born and raised in Windham, New Hampshire, with his mom, Kelly, and his dad, Mike, and sister, Nicole. I have yet to meet them. Nice to meet you. He attended the Windham schools and was part of the first graduation class of, at the time, New Windham High School. Throughout his schooling career, music was his passion. Alto sax was a primary instrument until he turned 11, when he began to playing the bagpipes. He has competed professionally up to the East Coast, Canada, and played in parades as far as Iceland. So maybe we're going to start a police band here, and you can be our bagpiper. He has competed, I already said that. He has volunteered for music services for the past 16 years to the Windham Fire Department. He has performed for the fire department's annual 9/11 ceremony, as well as celebrations and funerals for fallen firefighters, military personnel, police, and close relatives of those who have served. In his time at school, he has interned with the Lowell District Court, Probation Department, and the DEA Manchester office. Both of these internships provided invaluable experience into the workings of the justice system, both in the court system and field operations, which he believed has helped him to get to where he is today. His parents tell the story better than he can, but his drive to become a police officer has been present since he was 2. As a kid, he was always fascinated with the cruisers and lights in the uniform, and a part of the kid is still in him today. He has finally obtained his goal and give back to a great community. He hopes to serve honorably and provide lessons and world advice to those he encounters, the same way he was provided advice and important lessons from those who he looked up to growing up. So I'd like to welcome Officer Spitaleri aboard. So I'm going to have Daphne go ahead and do the swearing in.
You want to do it in front of the flag?
Yes, please. Okay, if I can get his, hang on, here we go.
I, Christopher Spitaleri,
I, Christopher Spitaleri,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent on me
all the duties incumbent on me
as a police officer of Brentwood Police Department,
as a police officer of the Brentwood Police Department,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeably to the rules and regulations
agreeably to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution and laws
of the Constitution and laws
of the state of New Hampshire,
of the state of New Hampshire,
so help me God.
so help me God.
It shouldn't be me pinning. That's right. Your mom? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. You have the honors. Get ready. Good. We have Officer Sam Matos. Officer Matos is 24 years old. He was born in Jacksonville, Florida, and raised in Middletown, Rhode Island. He grew up playing baseball and then football in high school. After high school, he attended Salve Regina University, where he played collegiate rugby before enlisting into the Marine Corps Reserves as a heavy equipment operator. During his time in the Marine Corps, he went to Latvia for a joint training exercise with NATO called Operation Saber Strike. After 3.5 years in the Marine Corps, he transferred over to the Army National Guard as an airborne infantryman. He currently attends Southern New Hampshire University, where he's majoring in forensic psychology. So this is Officer Sam Spitaleri. Welcome aboard. Okay, Daphne?
It's Matos.
Did I screw that up?
Yeah, you called it Spitaleri.
Thank you for correct.
She'll get it straight, so.
It's been a long week.
Raise your right hand. I, Samuel Matos,
I, Samuel Matos,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
all
the duties incumbent on me as a police officer of Brentwood Police Department,
as a police officer of Brentwood Police Department,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeably to the rules and regulations
agreeably to the rules and the regulations
of the Constitution and laws
of the Constitution and laws
of the state of New Hampshire.
of the state of New Hampshire.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
This is Sam's dad, correct?
Yes, Samuel.
Okay, so just real quick, we'll do some pictures with your family.
We'd like to shake hands.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
If they want to, it's up to them.
So far, we're not criminals. We're the good guys.
Yeah, just check us out so they'll know us when we drive by, right?
I'm gonna let you guys use that.
I'll take a muddin in the Jeep.
Are they both in the full-time?
Yeah.
Oh, good going.
Yes,
Congratulations. Welcome to
Thanks, Jim.
thank you. Thank you much. No, it's Kyle. I don't know, but he does polygraphs. Yeah.
Pretty good about answering.
A long time ago. Yeah, he does all our polygraphs. I don't know.
There you go.
So if you guys want to do some pictures, can we just do pictures real quick with the family?
absolutely.
Okay, so, where's the Sarge? There he is.
And I know you're.
So if we can have Officer Spitaleri's family come up, we'll just take a couple of quick pictures.
Hey Joyce, there's our musical talent for the ceremony.
We'll do it afterwards.
Oh.
Okay?
Hope it doesn't show up.
And I'll explain it to you. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you, dear.
All of us?
You take good care of us, Andy.
All of us is fine.
I turned it
No, that's
off.
fine.
I turned it completely off.
Okay, great. No
Man,
one
he
wants
like
to-
slipped
Matos, I got it right.
That's something you didn't know about.
I claim him as a dependent?
Sure. Yeah. We'll see how that works.
And then one more, actually, we want to get his step parents in too, as they help, and Natalie. One more. I have to deal with them too, so.
Masks. There you go. That works the other way around. That works the other way around.
She got so excited.
My baby.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for coming.
Oh, really?
Halfback, fullback.
Where'd you play rugby?
Oh, I played in Europe. We were the only American team in Europe. I played everywhere in Europe.
That's fantastic.
We had a plane for us to take us around. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
He was a Norwich guy. All America played up
Oh,
there.
yeah, we'll have to talk sometime.
All right.
It was nice to meet you.
Alright, let's do some building permits.
All right.
Alright. Lisa Boyer and Robert Miller, 47 Norfolk Road. It is an electrical permit for
Electrical permit for what?
solar.
Solar?
The Lucidians, 66 Rowell Road East, covered porch. Three Ponds LLC, 1 Tuck Drive, a plumbing permit for a new home. Three Ponds LLC, 3 Tuck Drive, plumbing permit for a new dwelling. Carol Ann Head, 24 Deer Hill Road, new kitchen floor and cabinets. And Walter and Bonnie Porter, 166 Pickpocket Road, a 50 by 60 barn. Or plane hanger.
To sign the right way.
I did.
Thank you.
Thank you. Deanna Murphy, 59 Stevens Drive,
Thank you.
remodeling of the bedroom, master bath, and bonus room. Master bath, yeah, master bath. And there was a memo in the mail about the dust on Pine Road, did everybody see that?
Yep.
Say that again?
Dust on Pine Road.
Yeah.
There's a complaint, but it was unfounded.
Well, I was gonna wait till they got done.
I was just coming before.
Wish you could when do we do the road signs for over there?
Probably when you finish.
What's that?
I know
When you finish, I think?
the first one's up, I don't know what's left for ones.
There's no interiors, they're just the first one.
I just wondered,
Probably
when
as they
we
finish the street.
name the roads, we have the signs, what do you give them?
Finish each.
Well, I don't know what the interior is. They
You're
put
not
the first one right there, North
Jeopardy
Jeopardy.
probably running. Cause they got, did you see some of the?
Are they
They got
expanding
through
their
there?
activity to
I mean, some of those.
Well, they bought the
I've seen some of
property
those,
that exceeds those
Big
interests. I don't-
spill. They got like
Alright.
6 wheels.
Take a motion on
I'll make the motion.
Second.
motion and second, any discussion?
Same for the,
Prep,
You
non-public.
gotta wait. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? I'll take a motion,
Second.
non-public, aye.
second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Sure. Joyce? Okay.
So I'm basically here just as an FYI from the cemetery. I have handouts if you guys want them, if not, no big deal. So basically what happened is this summer we had, through New Hampshire Cemetery Association, they received word from the town of Amherst that somebody had passed away. It was a resident of the town, that there was no family to step forward to do arrangements. So a friend of the person who passed away stepped forward and said, I will handle arrangements, but I do not want to do a claim of the deceased. So the town of Amherst said, how does the town now handle this unclaimed person who's been cremated? And they asked around the state, and there were actually a couple towns in the state that went, yeah, really, how do we deal with that? So I actually talked to Sue Benoit, who is our welfare person, And she wanted us to know, she said she's gonna tell everybody in the state the same thing. If you have someone who passes away in the town that does not have family, immediately get a hold of welfare, get a hold of her, get a hold of the state at the welfare department, whatever, that the welfare will help work through it. It is known within the welfare department that usually towns will set aside money for arrangements, meaning whoever is deceased will be cremated. I've talked to the funeral homes and they both said, both Stockbridge and Brewett both said that they would work with us if that came up. So basically, as far as that end of doing arrangements, welfare is happy to help us. The town of Amherst did say, well, what if the family suddenly reappears and we've already done something with this person who passed away? As long as we go through welfare, there are things within the RSA that will say, this is what had to be done, the RSAs will cover you, just don't worry about it. The biggest thing she said is that for no one to claim the person who passed away, town does not claim, the friend should not claim, because then what will happen is the RSA kicks in that the town shall be responsible for burying its dead. What will happen then is it comes to the cemetery. We've met at the cemetery trustee meeting, I brought this up to them, and basically what will happen as far as the cemetery is concerned is that we will do an interment. It's just gonna be part of the responsibilities of the superintendent, whether it's myself or someone further down the line. So the next cemetery trustee meeting, we will probably put that in the responsibilities of the superintendent, that should there be a welfare burial, the superintendent will just take care of it. So there would be a burial, we actually have a strip at Tonry, but that is what it's saved for, and it's just basically putting the urn in the ground, and it will be taken care of.
So is that what welfare and the RSA are in agreement that, so in the instance that you're talking about where somebody died in a different town and a friend stepped forward, what actually happened to the remains of the person who?
So when the
Take one
person
of
was
the
actually, the arrangements were made,
Yeah.
it was either held by, I think most of the time it's held by funeral homes. And I've actually talked to my dig crew and they said, oh yeah, we've had funeral homes call us and say, hey, we have in the tomb, we have urns of unclaimed deceased. What they will do then is they will go to the towns and say, hey, we have like 3 urns, these people were residents of your town, you need to handle it now because they've been unclaimed. And, I mean, my dig crew has told me, they said, yeah, we've done just a big trench, we put them in, we number them all, we do maps and everything else. My goal is to avoid that. If something like that happens, that's why I'm coming to you, just letting you know, if you hear about someone who passes away, no family, we can't find the family, we've done our due diligence, welfare will help kick in, take care of the arrangements, we will just do the burial and we will do markers of some sort, whether it's a small round marker, you can get round ones, they're about 4 inches. I can get them letters, numbers, however, and they're like less than $10 per marker.
Do
I've
we
also-
have any of those now?
I have cremation urn markers that we could use. Like I said, they're super cheap. They're less than $10 each. We can do that. I've also talked to Exeter Monument, and he said if you needed a stone, because we do have one welfare burial, it was from the 1960s, and he actually has a stone. I don't know who financed it, but it's there. So it's just basically an FYI from the cemetery to you guys if it happens. I guess the one that kind of made me say, I need to talk to the Board of Selectmen, is that there was a person coming up from down south, headed to Maine, passed away, I think in Hampton, no known family. He's now not really a resident of Hampton, but he passed away in that town. They didn't know what to do, they got a hold of welfare, welfare said no problem, we will do the arrangements, you guys do the burial. And that's how they took care of it.
I would recommend that we have a local procedure with the guidelines that Joyce has just established.
I think Joyce just said she was gonna have the trustees do that.
Yep. And there's copies of the paperwork that I've handed around is gonna be in our
It
file.
should from be us.
Yeah.
No, I think the trustees have to do that.
It's gonna come from the cemetery,
Oh,
I'll let you
okay.
come from the cemetery, but it's
Cemetery.
just in case something happens,
Okay.
I mean, something happens, you find somebody, we can't find a family, we are responsible for it.
Perfect.
So my second point today for coming is, I'm sure you've all driven by Tonry Cemetery, you can't miss it, it's huge. This is the second sign that is for our Purple Heart community. I'll show it to the camera so people can see it. That's awesome. We don't know where to put it. It's huge. And I kind of looked at Town Hall and went, yeah, it's really big. So Purple Heart Community did ask when we got the signs to put them north-south east-west on any major highway or road in the town.
Can we put them on 125?
We probably could. My feeling, just personally, is now that 125 is the Arkell Highway, I don't feel like I could take that from him. I don't know if we can put this out there. If we do, we probably should put two, one north and south. That would be a conversation I would have to have with the family. I can ask them. They might not care. My thing is I do need to talk to the state. Purple Heart Community gave me a name to talk to. I can't reach the guy. So I'm now gonna reach to the town shed here, or the highway shed in Epping. I think that gentleman would be willing to talk to me. So my thought was, you don't have to answer me tonight. Where should we put it?
What is it?
Where would you suggest?
125 is the major thoroughfare through.
Right.
through Bell.
And I
So
think,
that's
do
what
we
I'm thinking, maybe we wanna do that and maybe talk to Heather and see if she would be okay.
if she would mind, cause I don't even know where, the Arkell signs are going. I don't even know if they have signs. Have they talked to you at all?
Heard anything?
Okay, so maybe I need to be in contact with them, whoever's doing it. I don't know.
You know, Senator Morgan,
Yeah, let's say
Yeah,
Tom
touch
Morgan might be
base
he
the
would
best.
be the best person, yeah.
We
Okay.
get permission from DOT to put those on 125 or
'Cause-
111A.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you'd have to go to the state because it's a state road, but I think that's the major thoroughfare in town.
You know, one thought might be that we already have the
County
county
seat.
seat signs.
Put it underneath it.
Yes. I mean, that's a
Okay.
thought.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
I didn't think of that, yeah. Okay,
you
yeah.
know, because we're not getting any money from it being the county seat, but we can talk to one of the commissioners and see.
Well, we
if
got the
they-
signs
We
for
got
free.
signs.
Well, we should be happy with the seat, that's what he told me.
Senator Barnes insured, we got them for free.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good, I'm glad we didn't have to pay for those.
Is there one north and south?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I have now the contact for the person at the state shed in Epping. I just have to track him down. I know we've been playing phone tag and we haven't had a chance to talk, but they said that would probably be the best bet, because the guy at the state level, I've been trying to talk to him since March. Haven't had a chance to talk to him, so. Cool.
Those are pretty cool looking.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
we want more, I know this one could go one way or the other. I've got two other people who said if we need one more, to let them know that they would donate, because this is not gonna be taxpayer, budget line, whatever, it's just by donations.
So you have just the one, or because you're gonna need two going.
Right, I have the one at Tannery, I have this one, so if I do need one more, I have two people that said that they would pitch in and pay for the other one. So it's at no cost to us.
Good deal.
Thank you, guys.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You wanna do Mike? Mike, come on up. Do you want a chair or do you want the podium?
It's quieting down, so.
So, basically, I'm just coming by as a courtesy.
So before we start, this
Oh,
is
sorry.
Mike Ebbett from Block 5, which is our IT provider. And he's gonna talk about some of our disaster recovery options and server options, and should all have 2 sheets.
So, when we first came on board, we took a good look at the entire environment, and the backup and disaster recovery project was among the recommendations of things that would need to happen. And as we, talked about it, everyone agreed it was a good idea. So at this point, I just wanted to make sure that this surfaced with all the possible information, and so you guys would be fully educated. Whichever direction you choose to go, it's fine. Block 5 is here as a partner, no matter what's happening. We're not gonna withhold support. We're always gonna try to do our best to make sure that you're up and running. But,
Well, we heard a good story about you last week.
oh, good, I love those. When you say good,
It was very good. I mean,
Okay.
we went down and you were here in just a matter of hours.
oh, good, yeah. And, well, we'll take stocks, stores from our own shelves at the office if there's a problem down here, and like we did at the fire department. We had a firewall and some access points, and they were having network issues, and instead of fussing, we just ripped the stuff out, put in better. They've been fine ever since. That was on our dime. If we can make the environments better, it's sort of a win-win, right?
Thank you.
So this is the approach here, looking at this situation, it's just a chance for you to have all the information. Karen's super busy, and she's not an IT person. We had a couple conversations, and it's very clear that she's dealing with lots. So this is a courtesy for me to just get all the information in front of you. So what you've got right now is single server set up here in the town with a little backup appliance whose job is to collect backups of the primary server, and then potentially if the server experiences some sort of disaster, its design is to be able to run the server inside itself. We've had a pretty poor record of those things actually functioning well, from the county to multiple other towns that we've worked with, and we've ultimately replaced them in the long run. So you have single point of failure environments at the fire department, PD, and in the network for the town. PD and fire are in the worst shape if they were to lose their servers. We're looking, depending on how quickly I can get the data downloaded, because there isn't even a local backup, and depending on how quickly we can source the replacement if there is a failure, you could be looking at 2 to 3 days of downtime. Granted, we'll do everything we can. We're not, we'll hop in and snap into action, but same thing over at the fire department, although I have been talking with my engineering team about eliminating servers at the fire department altogether, which would drastically reduce the scope of our project. Creating a VPN tunnel so that all they're needing to access is their files, just like a file share, because that's all they're doing over there, and they use their Firehouse software in the cloud. So we do this in Candia, we do this in Chester, we do this in Atkinson, and we've been doing it for years and it works fine. So potentially we can get rid of the server. And now all we're dealing with is the police department server and the town hall server. And our proposal ultimately is to take the two servers, put them together in a pair, get them talking to each other with the right software and some hard drive upgrades and processors and whatnot, just to make them as quick as they can be, and then make them a redundant pair, so that whatever data the police department and town hall servers that are running can be replicated to the other. And then if there is some sort of a failure on one of the servers, we can remotely log in and flip them back on to the most recent recovery point, which we take every 2 hours. So it's a really quick and painless process for us. So the acknowledgement here is that our contract is all-inclusive. The only thing that it does not cover is after-hours events that are outside of our control. So we have an environment that we put in that's designed for quick recovery. I call that within my control, and no problem. We'll fix it, and then during the day, we can get on the horn with the vendor, get some replacement hardware and software, and whatever needs to be done to fix the situation. It's not changing, and we're not sending any invoices for that, right? So whatever you choose to do is fine. I just really wanted to make sure that you were aware of what we're putting on the table. And since sending this letter and talking with my engineering team, we're even talking about decreasing the scope of this, which would change the labor. And you'll see in this document, I've made an offer to chop 30% off the labor. Well, I'll still chop 30% off, and I'll even take out the scope that requires the fire department hardware. So I'm certainly open. I don't want to chew up too much more time here. I can have offline conversations with whoever's interested. But wanted to just make it clear. Okay, because it is in the agreement, and a lot of times people just don't see it there. So so the big primary thing is nobody wants to be down, especially not for 2 or 3 days.
Right.
Especially not the PD, because they have security software, they have records, they manage criminal records software. That's very important. So that's me. That's it.
So Mike, what are the costs for the fire department was $79.43, and then for the town hall and PD was $75.13.
So.
You're saying we don't have to do the fire department?
So I think we can get away with removing the fire departments altogether.
Okay.
The project would be moving the virtual servers that are running over the fire department right now. They're kind of like a Word document that you can copy, paste, and open with Word somewhere else. But it's a standalone document. Their server is a virtual machine. It's like a document. We could pull it over here and get it running alongside PD and town servers at the same time, and they can just VPN tunnel into their server. We wouldn't really have to change too much.
Okay. So then the cost of the town hall was $75.13 with the reduced labor costs.
Mr. Chairman, are you ready for a motion?
Wait a minute.
So you guys voted on this last week, if it
Yeah.
was Gopher reimbursable, but the scope of the project is not Gopher reimbursable.
Okay.
So this would be to withdraw the money out of the capital reserve fund
Right.
for IT. Which there's money in there, we've purchased 4 laptops that were slated to be purchased out of the capital reserve fund, but are instead being reimbursed by the Gopher money.
So I'm just trying to, I'm not an IT person, but
That's what makes sense.
what we're looking at is, are we looking to purchase additional servers? So we
No, no, not at this
have-
point.
No, I'm talking about the worst case scenario, we're avoiding that and having backup servers. We have two servers now?
We have 2 servers that I just want to repurpose.
Oh, okay, so
But they do require a few more pieces and
how do
parts.
we tie in the fire department to the police department and town hall servers, or we can't do that?
No, that was one of my
Unless we had-
proposals.
Unless we had to.
Oh, I'm sorry, but
Right.
say that again?
So, so we couldn't tie in the police department and town hall servers, which are backups of each other, right? To the fire department. unless we
No,
do-
actually, it doesn't work that way. So the town hall server gets to stay its own server,
Yeah.
police department server gets to stay its own server. Fire department server gets to stay its own server. All 3 of them run in their own little virtual space,
Okay.
little virtual machines inside of one machine.
So if we lose one, we lose the police department, what happens?
So there's a couple of different ways servers can fail. Somebody could click on a file in an email that looks legit, maybe it's not, had a virus,
Bingo.
just,
Gone.
that's one, that doesn't mean anything physically failed, that's a logical failure. But part of this project is putting in Veeam backup software, which is responsible for the replication of the data between the 2 servers, so that if someone does this, we just log into our interface and say, let's restore it back to this other point in time,
Okay.
just like that. And so physical failure would mean something inside of the primary machine where everything's running.
Burned up,
Yeah,
whatever.
you know, something. And
So that would require a new piece of hardware.
no, the other one is standing
But
by here.
eventually, you wouldn't wanna have just the one, you'd wanna replace the.
It's
server.
warranted. The server downstairs and the server up here, they're both
Oh,
warranted. We put them in a pair, they're warranted till 2021 or maybe even 2022.
All right, I'm ready for your motion.
Is the chairman ready for a motion?
No. What happens with the fire department server, because that's fairly new.
That came from the DOJ. That was a donation.
Oh, okay, so.
That's one of the oldest servers in here. You have T630 here, a T630 downstairs. And I know them well because we do all the IT for the county. So I work with Brenda and Kevin Walsh over, and they got this massive pallet full of servers.
Yes.
They're distributing them around fire departments and other agencies.
I thought we actually bought that one, but now I remember.
Oh, really?
Now I remember we did get the county.
Well, the good news is when we came on board, I had one of those around, I checked with Kevin, and he said it was cool to keep it, because I wanted to keep it around just in case. And it's a good thing, because that one died.
Dad.
So we had the one spare at our office that I kept, we brought it over, had him back up and running the same day. So we were fortunate that we had the equipment around, but we don't always have the donatable equipment around.
For the 3rd time, are you ready for a motion?
I pointed to you.
I point back at you. I'll make the motion that we
Expend.
Take it out of capital reserve.
$7,959.
I
43.
did 7513.
That's right.
So the reduced
Cut
labor,
400 off.
so the reduced
I
labor
just changed
cost
my
is
motion.
like $1,000,
Okay.
except I would like to repurpose that money for a server cage downstairs to complete our.
That's part of my motion.
Renovation downstairs.
Which I can sell to you for $500 because I got one off an old job, so you can save a little money there.
Oh, good.
Okay,
So
so
how much
I,
money do you
I
need?
need $7,013.
how much?
$7,013.
Okay.
That's my motion.
I knew it was.
Second.
I knew you'd say.
Now, before you guys are all chimed in on this, I want to make sure I understand that the software, the Veeam software and necessary licensing that we've put forth in the proposal is still listed here as well. It's our labor that we've chopped down.
Yep.
Can you give them the proposal that way, we can make sure we
Make sure we're not.
have
So
enough money?
You're reducing that number by 1,000-ish?
Yes.
So this is 6513, and then we'll add in 500 for this.
Perfect.
Okay.
We can do that.
2013.
Well, that was a great motion,
All
I
right.
have to admit.
Perfect.
So if it took you 5 times, it ought to be.
Well, that side of the table's very slow for whatever reason.
Have a first and a second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed, abstained, motion carries.
There you go, you good?
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Here's
sir.
hoping- Hope it doesn't rain on
Did you
my
need us to?
bike ride home.
Do we need to sign these?
Cleaning.
What's that?
What are
She
these
doesn't sign
signatures?
these?
No, she's gonna do that.
Oh, this was,
She'll do it.
if you guys decided to decline. I just wanted to have it on record that it was made known.
Okay,
I don't
So-
know,
Okay,
I'm
we're
new.
good.
all right.
Thanks.
Run with it.
Have a safe ride.
I might, thank you.
Thank you.
If it's raining, tap on the window, let me know so I can put my top in the car, cause I saw someone walk by with an umbrella, it scared
Oh,
me.
really?
Yeah, I'll signal from my.
Doesn't look like
it's
raining.
No.
Get out here now. Thank
It's a
you.
Jeep, it should be okay
Do you have
to rain,
documents?
go through mud.
This is an intent to
I
cut
just
that you
hosted that
signed
yesterday.
last week, the warrant, but you didn't sign the certification, so I just need you to sign that one page.
You weren't here last week.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks.
She wasn't here either.
No, nobody was here last week.
Apparently, I'm not here today.
It's all right, neither am I.
So we already approved this, we just forgot to sign it,
Okay.
but somebody forgot to have the paperwork.
Oh, yeah, all right.
What was there?
Sure.
Due to delays from COVID-19 and delays with the reval, we're looking like we're having hearing letters going out beginning to mid of September. And so we're looking to file an MS1 extension to October 1st. Is that agreeable?
Motion.
Second?
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Chief Byrd wanted you to know that Congressman Pappas will be stopping by on Friday between 9:15 and 10 in reference to the grant for the air packs that was awarded.
Oh, good.
Excellent.
We can deflate his tires while he's here.
Have the airbags fill them up?
That's it, there you
With helium,
go. Wow.
he can flow higher.
The damaged cruiser originally came in at $3,008.90 for the repair, which you agreed to accept. The Primex appraisal is coming in at $2,230.18. So that is the number that they would go after for subrogation if the repair is not made. Do you want to accept that, or do you want to make the vehicle repairs? So this was a vehicle you were gonna decommission and just.
I don't think we should waste any time or money on it.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get the money,
No.
that extra 800 back in sale.
So a motion is to accept whatever.
Private.
I make motion to accept.
$2,230.18.
Yes.
Second.
Yes.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And then you're gonna see if they'll buy it from salvage, is that what you're gonna do?
Well, they would go from the other company to get the money back.
Okay.
Do we want to remove the COVID spending cap?
No.
No, wait a minute. Hey,
I would still keep that for now.
That's reaching the.
but it's only at $500, right?
Yes.
And then
Maybe
they
it's
come in.
time to up it to 1,000. I mean, this is gonna be long-term. I don't think we have anything coming down the pike that it's gonna be terminated in the near future.
I'll make a motion to go to 1,000.
I'll second my motion.
Can we also expand it to include routine annual maintenance items?
Up to $1,000.
Well, what if it's more than that? Like our fire alarm test is gonna be a couple grand. Or when the chief does his vehicle inspections, that's gonna be more than,
That was, are you
Is
talking
that
about?
coming under
We
COVID
Did
though?
one on the top.
no, it's not under
Didn't we
COVID, but
change it
you've
so we
limited their
said-
So you wanna
spending
increase the cap for the department heads total across
Yeah,
the
but if
board?
there's
and
routine
expand it,
maintenance.
broaden it a little
Right.
bit, what they need to seek approval for.
Hmm.
What is our tax collection rate at?
I think it was still around that 93-94%. I don't think it was.
I don't
So
remember any change.
the idea behind the cap was that in case we see a reduced
Tax.
tax collection.
Yeah.
Which we haven't seen.
Yeah,
So do we wanna revisit, remove it, and then we can revisit in December if we start having collection issues?
Well, that would incorporate whatever Karen was worried about. As far as expenditures, to cover cost of
Well, if we
surveillance.
remove it, then the department heads
There's no
can spend,
they can spend whatever.
they technically have a little cap anyways, if it's above and beyond budgeted things. it's-
Right, I understand. I like that motion.
I like the $1,000 cap and then expansion of things that they're responsible for in a routine
I think we're
basis.
just hamstringing these people to do that. I mean, these are legitimate expenses. They are not frivolous items. When it comes to the fire department, they change a tire, you're talking $1,200–1,400. So are you gonna make the motion, Mr. Chairman?
Well,
No, but you can't
I'll make your motion,
make my motion.
make your motion, say.
that we lift it all together, revisit it in December.
Well, we don't have to add that to the motion,
No.
just lift it.
Are you being difficult with me?
Yes.
Okay. Whatever he said, that's my motion.
So you wanna lift the spending cap for all the department heads?
He just wants to go back to normal.
That's correct.
Normal operations.
Okay.
Normal operations for
You got a
spending.
second?
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
There we go, we have a second.
So I have a motion and a second to return to normal spending operations.
I'll just probably.
I don't think we've seen the full effects of
Okay.
this COVID. stuff.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
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 motion carried.
Opposed?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
3-2. Motion carries.
God, like pulling spaghetti.
I don't think we've seen the end of that.
No, that's what
Oh, I
I'm
don't
saying.
either, but we've collected taxes until December.
I'm concerned with the whole school.
Yeah, we
Well,
haven't seen.
we have no control over that.
We
Zero.
don't, but I have a
No, but we're gonna
feeling
hear
that
about
the
it.
invoice is gonna be huge.
Well, at that time, then we vote,
Well,
No,
they can't bill us more than they've already been appropriated.
That's true, but they can certainly make the case that they need more money, which I
Yeah.
keep hearing every week.
That's because they haven't reached out to the governor to look for the money, according to the governor.
You heard them all. All right.
Karen?
TAC meetings,
Who meetings?
the TAC, the transportation meetings that Ken goes to.
yeah, it's lovely.
Right? They want, proposals by September 1 if they want to be part of the prioritization process. Do you have something that you want to add? Or just
If they would just do
our
Pickpocket Road in 2034, I'd be happy.
Okay,
2034?
It's been scheduled.
Well, that's part of the prioritization. We can ask for it to be done sooner.
I do that every year.
Well, that's what she's
so
asking.
you'd like me to put that in?
Yeah, let's do it. Just for the hell of it.
2034?
About
Yeah.
2021?
It'll be here before you know it.
Well, actually,
Well,
North Road was
yeah.
supposed to be.
COVID,
done
we might not make it.
35.
According to them.
And now that schools are, making their decisions to announce remote or not remote, the leave request forms are through the expanded FMLA. So that is the First Corona Response Act, the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. So that expands the use of FMLA up to 12 weeks in the event of a school closure. So that is the leave option that people would have, or
That includes remote learning and,
this would include remote learning. And then you would have sort of, to flex leave time with telework, which we already have the remote work policy, depending on how a supervisor can balance those needs. So I don't think there's a need for a separate policy for this leave request. It's already outlined in the, federal leave request forms. The only question is whether or not you want to allow for intermittent leave. Or if you want to require only 12-week blocks.
I would.
the school sessions are 12-week blocks, right? Is that, I think that's right.
I think every district
Three
is,
month, well, they're split into 3-month blocks, I think. So, in other words, what they're talking about now here is a remote with a revision of the policy in mid-October, which,
I think they were gonna
Same
look
to
at it
me.
like September 22nd or something like that for October. Potentially, yeah.
look at, but they're going back to school remotely for the
September
most
9th.
part, at least at the upper level grades. The local schools have not decided yet, although I think they're mostly leaning in that same direction as the SAU recommended. The only group that might not do it is here, because the only ones that have, I'm trying to phrase
Majority.
this properly, no,
Majority vote.
there's a brave and bold group of school board members who are looking at things a little bit differently than the SAU recommendations are. Our board is the only one that's really considering deviating. having said that, they're looking at remote, and then we're gonna look at it again in a month and see if we're gonna still go remote, and I don't know what the criteria is gonna be, because they can't seem to define it, but it seems like it's like every month or so, they're gonna look at what we're gonna do, so 12 weeks seems like it's plenty of time if they change things. If
Right.
they continue to go remote, then we're looking at something totally different.
Right, so the benefit of intermittent leave is that if a school were to open in a hybrid model,
Yep.
and a parent only needed 1 or 2 days off, they could take 1 or 2 days off for maybe 24 weeks.
Yeah.
Instead of having to take all
All
12
the
weeks worth
time off
of leave,
every
and
week,
then,
yeah.
you know, the next quarter rolls around and you're stuck.
No, we don't have, yeah, okay. So, I think we're covered with what we have now from the.
The FMLA, 12 weeks is what I would,
We can always look at it down the road if we have to. I don't think we need to deviate from the federal guidelines at this point. That's my opinion.
So do you want to allow for intermittent leave?
I think that would be a good
I
idea.
think that's a good idea, yeah.
It's a motion by Bill, do I have a second?
Yes,
Any discussion? All in favor of allowing intermittent leave on the FMLA?
aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
And you want to allow for topping off, so.
Say that again?
Topping off, so what that means is leave that is granted, that is associated with a school closure, is required to be paid at 2/3 the employee's rate of pay. Topping off would allow them to compensate that other third with earned time or accrued leave.
Oh, I think that's a
I'll
great
make that
idea.
motion. I'll make that motion.
Have a motion?
Second, he made it.
I know. Any discussion?
Yes, I agree with him.
Whoa, this is a momentous.
Glad this is
historic
recorded.
moment.
It's the first time.
Maybe the second. All in
Yes.
favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Carol.
Mm-hmm.
she's still hung up on the dam, it's okay.
It's looking good though.
Conservation.
Well, if it was raining, we'd have a lot, but we don't.
No, it's more than a trickle.
So since our last meeting, we had 3 resignations.
Yeah.
Corporal Abel from the police department, Don Tilby Jr. from the fire department. Do you know what his reasoning was?
He's already working full-time in Epping, I think it's just too much.
Oh, is that why? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Epping stole him a while ago.
Oh, okay.
And Jody Kaufman from the Conservation Commission. I would thank all 3 individuals for their dedicated service to the town, and we're sorry that they are moving on to different pastures. I'll take a motion to accept all 3 resignations.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Farewell.
Opposed?
Good luck.
Good luck.
Anything else?
Everyone has something for me, public connection, so you have to close and
Okay.
Make a motion to go non-public.
Oh, I have something
Oh,
first. Karen, when's the last time we drew people's names for the, has to be like
in
April?
No, it hasn't been that long, I think in July we did it.
Oh, I couldn't find anything in the minutes, cause I
Wanna
was,
do it now?
well, I don't think
next
we've
meeting?
done it for, I
I know
tried,
there was some discussion about people were unhappy that it was an achievement award, and I fought that, but
Where did that come from?
there was discussion the day it was, last time we pulled it from the people in attendance.
not me.
I was here, well, it had to be you.
It wasn't me.
Do you want to continue it the same way, or do you want department heads to have to nominate people to be entered into it each month?
Well, I think the randomness made it nice.
That's why I
Yeah.
came up with the idea that way, but there was,
Well, we should increase
I
it to
think it
20
should be-
bucks anyway.
I think it, how much do you think it is? I thought it was
It's
25.
I've said
yeah.
that it's gonna be a long
$10.
time.
It's $10.
You were the one that recommended it.
Oh, my God, come on.
And there's
I think
probably,
it should be, if they go above and beyond, they get nominated, and that's how it should be. It should be a recognition for going above and beyond. That would be my thought.
so you shouldn't have a nomination, you should just have somebody submit for an above and beyond bonus, and they get the,
And then you draw
Of
it.
$20.
And then you draw it out of that
no,
pool.
Well, no, there would
I
be
like
no
every,
draw.
I
No
like
draw, it would just be
everybody's name
whoever-
put in the,
Okay, I think you got some disagreement on this side of the room.
There is, that's why I think we stopped doing it, because there was,
Okay, Phyllis,
Because there's a lot of new people, I think you need to put everybody, I think you should put everybody's name in the,
for $20.
for $20.
I agree with Phyllis.
Not being nominated,
What's happening
that's,
tonight?
How about that?
I just don't like
I
being
didn't have my
nominated,
glasses.
I think that's,
So we're just gonna pick somebody randomly and say, here's $20?
That's what we've been doing.
well, we've been
that's the way
doing
the
that,
program was developed.
it's
Okay.
just
As
because
long
they
as
work,
you didn't have any,
It was
Negative.
10, now they want 20.
yeah, it was 10.
well, what can you buy for $10?
Not even a
Coffee,
Starbucks
that's what the whole
coffee.
purpose was for.
No, don't you back down.
I won't back down.
Great, I'm gonna make a motion to go to 5.
You
Then we'll
can make-
negotiate to 20.
You can make all the motions you want,
Yeah, let's go with,
you and everybody else. I'll second Phyllis's
How
motion.
about $20 a month?
I'm gonna say 10.
It's like
leave it at 10.
$240.
$240.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll put the first 20 up, if that's what you want.
Okay.
I'll put the second up if they're worth it.
Why don't you give me an extra 20, you give me an extra 20, and then I'll give you 40.
So let's leave
How
it,
about you do them random 9 times, and then once a quarter you do a $20 one, and people have to be nominated for it.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
I like that, I like that better. So do a $10,
So wait a minute.
$10 one
so-
every month, and then once a quarter you do a
A
$20.
$20 one.
But you have to be nominated by your supervisor.
I would do that, I'd be fine
That,
with
that
that.
one, that's a good one.
I like that.
Oh, for tonight, I'll pay the $20,
Are you-
you make the motion.
are you
No, we
looking at?
can't just
No.
do it
Whoa,
one
whoa,
night.
whoa,
No,
whoa.
no.
Bob just took the money.
Well, if he needs it that
So
bad.
Bob, are you,
It's on camera.
Bob, so is Bob, your motion that we do $10?
No, wait a minute, wait, we gotta work on our motion first.
I
Well, there was
void your
no
motion.
motion.
There's no second in your motion,
There was
your
no-
motion's dead.
There- Phyllis,
Yes.
did you
what?
make a motion?
$10 and then a $20
I like the
every
$10
quarter.
and the $20
No,
quarterly.
I made a motion for 20, but I like Karen's idea about $10
I like
a
Karen's
month.
idea.
And
Just
then,
told you not to back
I
down.
can support that,
Exactly.
I can support that motion then, if that's what you're
Yeah.
doing.
The motion's been amended to continue the $10
And a
pick
$20
and a
once
$20 once a
Quarterly.
quarter
nomination.
supervisor
a
nomination.
nomination, right.
Second,
Okay,
Any further discussion?
So who made the motion?
Phyllis.
I second, move the motion.
Actually, you made it, but you
Yeah.
can. Motion is second, no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Reluctantly, aye.
Anybody opposed?
No, but I'm gonna charge him $20 for
That was anonymous.
trying to override me.
That was anonymous, or unanimous?
Oh
Which
my
one, unanimous or unanimous? This
I think
group's
we
out of-
should make public that Thursday night, there was a outside fire by the police
Oh,
department.
yeah, I was gonna ask what happened.
Yes.
The chief reviewed the tape and all she sees is combustion. So it could have been anything from a cigarette butt to rags or chemicals dumped on the ground or,
Short in the electrical line,
Well,
or
it's-
could have been anything.
it was in the bark mode, so I doubt it was, I don't think there's any electric there.
Did our fire department do an investigation?
No,
Probably not.
they put out the fire.
Our fire department would do investigation, they would,
Sure, they have to
Oh.
determine what the cause of the fire is.
they would call the
So
fire
that's not
marshal's
you, Chris,
office.
that's not,
I'll tell you, it was a good thing he was here,
Yep.
because I don't know if he'd have a town hall. I mean, he put
Yeah,
the
I heard
fire out.
I'd heard you'd have a new police station.
We have a new town hall.
we have
Yeah,
any
he had
town
a new
hall.
town hall.
We have a new town hall, 'cause
That would be great.
it
So,
was.
And we
There
would've gotten
was-
rid of the vault.
Was there anybody in the town office that had just walked out?
no,
A guest or a
No.
prisoner or?
No,
God.
he,
Yeah,
so we
A
can't
guest.
have, because the camera won't pick it up, so if you wanna ask a question, she can
no,
come
I
up.
was asking Ellen, I wasn't asking you guys.
Well, you can't do that during a public meeting on camera. So if you have a question for the chief, we'll bring her up and you can
Okay.
ask her a question.
Whatever.
Thank you.
So, we submitted to Primex?
Yeah.
Cause there is damage to the siding.
What's our deductible?
1,000.
We'll get some more than that.
Still think the fire department should have done some due
Too
diligence.
late now, but we should
On
certainly
determination.
revisit that for future reference, I think.
Have duty to mitigate and investigate.
So noted.
I
And this should be the.
And I
end
wanna
of it.
note that I voiced those concerns that day, so.
Okay.
Anything else for public?
Nope, I'll make a motion, we go into non-public.
Oh, wait a minute, there was
Is
a
my
hand over there.
request public or not public?
It's non-public, Laura.
It's non-public, yeah.
Okay.
Make a motion, we go into non-public in accordance with 91A 311 A, B, C, D, E.
Good night, Carol.
Good night.
I believe it is, for
Employee
employment
matters?
and reputation, right?
And then there's legal matters too, right?
I might have,
No,
I might have some public,
Do you
I
want,
might have some public,
You wanna-
matters.
You have some public matters?
I do,
You wanna do public first?
Yes, because we're not gonna come back.
yeah.
So your motion, withdraw your motion for right now.
$20?
I took that out for.
Carol!
a reason.
Oh, okay.
Their expenses, that's public.
Carol's gone.
Yep.
Okay, Carol ran, huh?
Carol, right.
Guess she didn't eat the cake.
Okay.
Okay.
We know what you needed, because all the noise is over.
That didn't get picked up, though.
I heard that.
Oh, did I not? Okay, I'm a bonehead. I'll have to go from my memory here. I didn't print out my sheet. But the first thing I'm gonna request is, oh boy. I've been up since 6 o'clock, so running the gun in here. We're requesting to take the old decals off the other 3 cruisers, which would be 6, that's the K9 cruiser.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, I already volunteered.
6, 7, and.
You let her finish?
Yeah, so it would be
Discussed earlier.
Unit 6, actually it's 2, actually, we're looking at 2. So I'd like to request that we remove the graphics from 4 and 6, and at a cost of, oh boy, I got it broken down here,
Bob said you'd remove them
You
for
can get
free.
it for free.
You know,
No, I mean, I don't like to be able to do that. I mean, we could do 800 per car to strip the graphics and paint the doors white. And then we have a quote for Vinyl Tech Graphics in Brentwood for $650 per cruiser, detailing George's, because it's the K9 cruiser and it needs to be cleaned out, at $240. We also have to take tear out the seats from Unit 5 to put in the K9 cruiser, and to install the cages in the K9 cruiser. So we've got to take the K9 equipment out. So,
We did vote the other day that
Yeah, we voted on do that.
you could do that.
all right, so it's like 3,000 and change, and I mean, I've got to do the
Well,
math.
No.
We didn't vote to
No.
re-graphic the cruisers, we voted that you could take the K9 car and rebuild it.
And that's at
$1,200.
680, so we're good, I think it's 680 on that one, so we're good to go on that. And I'm also requesting that we take the graphics off the other 2 cruisers and repaint them so that our fleet looks
Uniform.
all standard. With the exception of the detail cruiser, we're gonna leave as is.
well, I know I can remove the decals easy, those piece of cake to take off. As a matter of fact, one of them now just says POLIC, because I took off the E already today, so, and I'll do that for free, so that's fine. Takes me,
Okay?
and I can
You wanna take them off?
buff it out.
Yep.
It's real quick to do. I'll
So-
be down
so
tomorrow to
do
grab one of the cruisers, I'll bring it to my house unless you wanna
Do the
drop it
paint
off.
job
I'll
and
do
the
it myself.
graphics. What's the paint job and the graphics cost on putting them all in the same?
I'm looking for, I have the total cost, because I had to do some adjustment here. So recommending if we paint and replace the graphics, it's $1,440. Detail. So we're looking at, okay, so if you're gonna take off all that, right? Then we're
Decals
just
coming off
looking,
this
yep,
piece of
we're
cake.
just looking at 650 times 2, where's my calculator?
1300.
1,300, so 1,300 for the graphics for 2 cruisers. Detailing is $240 to clean that K9 cruiser out. So you'd be looking at
1540.
$1,540.
So that's paint, graphics, and a
if I've got this right, yeah, so. Yeah, but no, we gotta paint the doors, so if you're gonna strip so that just throws the quote off. So we got a quote to strip the graphics and paint the doors white from a Place in Plastow, that's $800 per cruiser. So I don't know what it would be
Just to paint them.
just to paint them. It'll be less than what we're talking
I
here.
mean, I can get the details off, even if it saves you $100, saves you $100.
Yep.
That's the way I look at it.
Now, you're
Why
gonna
do you have,
start with
why do you have to
7,
paint the doors
which is
white?
Kip's car.
So they look all the same.
Yeah, Kip's gonna leave his keys
Well, I
in the front
particularly,
door.
personally don't like the white, okay?
Oh, you don't?
No,
Oh, I like it.
I like it too.
no, I don't like it.
I mean,
And they're supposed to be black and whites anyways. When George Bush was president, he said, we want
Whatever,
all the police.
that's just my personal opinion.
George Bush said he wants all the police cruisers across the country to be black and white.
The one that died or the one that's still living?
All the ones that were,
Oh, okay.
the one that died, who cares less when
You
Well,
be-
that's what I thought that's why you brought it up.
All right, so you'd be looking at 2,100,
what are we
less
doing-
than that.
What are we
You're
doing?
looking more than that, because you're looking at 12 for graphics and 16 for paint.
Well, it's 800 to do the graphics and to paint the doors white. Yes, 800, so that's 16,
1,600, 800, 800.
yeah, 1,600.
Plus it was like 12 for
Yeah,
graphics.
no, that's, plus,
Now, what about the new cruisers? They don't have they still have cushioned seats, they don't have the plastic seats in the back. What are we doing with those?
nothing right now. I think we'll wait till
Focus, Bob.
November,
Focus.
and then we'll look at
Let's get through
look at
one
dealing
thing
with
at a
that
time.
then. I
I
know.
got it all in my head, that's the problem.
Again, lay off on the graphics.
No, drink it faster.
1,600.
I'm just, so, I don't wanna confuse the issue, but I'll ask the chief anyway. So how many cruisers will that give us if we do all this?
2.
No. Two new
All-
ones,
all
two
of them
ones
with
that
the
we're
exception-
doing, so how many total cruisers are we gonna have?
Okay,
5.
we're gonna have
Four black
all,
and white,
okay,
and one detail car that's gonna remain black.
we're gonna have four
So five.
cruisers that are gonna be black and whites.
And then the detail,
So we have 2 of the Fords that are still in the fleet,
right.
and we have the 2 Tahoes. We're trying to convert the 2 Fords over
To be the
to,
same as the two.
right. The detail car, we're gonna leave the same, because it, it's got high mileage.
Yeah, who cares?
And then we have
It's going
my
the same.
cruiser and the detective's cruiser.
Which are not, we're not changing those are
No.
marked anyway, so.
No,
right.
so we're talking about 2.
When do we change out those other two? When are they slated to have to be rotated?
We're selling the
Oh,
other two
yeah, we're-
sometime. Soon, we should sell them like now.
You only have one that you're gonna be auctioning off. The other one's going to Kip, but that's ready to go right now. The other one that will be auctioned off is at Adamson's, waiting to take the cage and the seats out of that one to put it in the old George's Canine Cruiser, because we gotta take all that stuff out.
Okay.
So the question really right now is it worth $3,000 to make a uniform fleet? Or should we just wait for attrition?
I think we should wait for attrition, but that's me.
I would disagree with that. I would take the recommendation of the chief and go forward.
What do you recommended, that we leave them alone?
That we wait for them to basically be rotated
Yeah,
out.
that's how, yeah.
I mean, when you're looking at $3,000, I mean, to me, it's like, it's $1,500 per car. I can buy a lot of stuff for $1,500. I can buy a lot of stuff for $3,000.
Well, can we pay for it out of the detail fund?
We can pay for it out of my budget.
But the detail fund is not tax
I
money.
kinda like having the cars all look the same. I know that sounds stupid perhaps, but, I think I like having black and whites. I like.
So you're seconding my motion?
The
No, you made it.
problem with attrition is you're looking at another 2 to 3
Two
At
years
least.
Yeah, we're looking at.
before everything looks the same.
Say,
So, Mr.
I mean,
Chair-
I'd rather put the $3,000 into fixing the new cars we have that have cloth seats. I have windows that go down, there's no brick, basically I can kick out a window. I can't put a prisoner in the back of these new cruisers that we got because I don't have plastic seats put
Well,
in properly.
you can put a prisoner in there, you have
Then
to
I
take
gotta worry
extra.
about they stuffing stuff into the seats or whatever.
You just have to take extra measures to secure
It's
that.
been a long time since I strip searched somebody, but don't you do that? Don't you search?
Yes, you pat them down.
I don't think they roadside strip search though.
Well,
I'm not
so-
sure how the Navy did it.
Air Force.
They were flying high.
We touched the ground.
Oh,
on
my
it.
lord.
Oh, yes.
So you're looking at $3,100 by my calculation, to convert them.
Minus whatever Bob saves us, so.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we take the chief's recommendation and do
Minus
it
Bob's-
as soon as possible.
Minus Bob's, the labor,
Well, that,
whatever it is.
he's doing number 7, so I don't care.
And 4 and 6.
Let's do it all three.
So your motion is to spend the back up to $3,100.
That's correct.
I have a motion to spend up to $3,100 to review 2 cars.
Did you strike me?
We have a second.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
I'll oppose.
So we're good?
Seconded?
Okay, I
Yes.
think that's all I got for public.
All right.
I'm sure you'll let me know when I get into non-public.
I'll
So,
make a motion for non-public.
Okay.
hold that thought. So I think we need to come up with also a proposal to what it would cost to put plastic seats.
Yeah, no,
in the towers.
I am looking at that. I'm looking at that down in November, December, when we have funds remaining. I don't want to do that right now.
What's in the detail fund?
There's quite a bit in the detail fund, but I'm not sure what the balance is due to the general fund.
Alright,
Make a motion for
So
non-public.
whoever's
Oh, wait a
driving
minute,
the new cruisers, just to be aware, that's all. Be a little extra cautious when you put somebody in the back.
They're very well aware,
I'm sure they are.
we're aware of that.
That's the only reason I know about
I
it.
know, okay.
we used to use cloth seats forever, and
Yeah,
that's right.
the only back to that was when they got sick, they were harder to
Oh,
Clean,
Yes.
yeah,
I have
yeah.
one thing, we need to announce that the hazardous waste day has been canceled due to the epidemic.
Oh, really?
In
Yes.
Oh,
September.
okay.
Oh,
Well, the crews that we use are coming out of New Jersey. and-
they don't, oh.
No, they're all in quarantine.
So can we make sure that gets on the website?
It's on the website. The email that I got said that they were gonna try to reschedule it to spring, but we don't have a firm date,
No.
so,
Okay.
yeah, so it's canceled for 2020.
yeah.
So we didn't have the vision to understand that. we
Just
were
throw
gonna
your
do
stuff
that.
in through. So,
Motion non-public in accordance with
You
91A,
finally got it.
311, A, B,
Alright.
C, D,
We will
E,
not be
and
coming
I.
back from
non-public.
non-public, so
And recorder's up.
This is for
Do I have-
hiring and.
Second,
personnel.
yes, do I have a motion?
Second.
Second,
Aye.
aye. Anybody opposed?